maybe sometimes I see me as a cleaner, because people, they always pass you like a lot of stuff, and then you have to even filter, you have to condense, you have to reduce and find like a way that all these stories, because in the beginning we had super long conversations with the clients or with artists or whatever, and we find that all these stories they give you, we condense in a kind of a concept.
Hello everybody, this is Mario. Welcome to another episode of Design Interviews and Questions, where we interview designers and design experts from all around the world. Today is helping me Verena Panholzer. She's a graphic designer, so welcome Verena, thanks for being here.
Hello, nice having me virtual.
If you don't mind, I would immediately start with the initial question, which is, what made you become a designer?
For me, like a designer, I think is like a really wide range. So I think what I'm doing now as the work of a graphic designer, I was I don't know, it was not my aim to be a graphic designer at the end. So I'm telling you the full story as I was a child, maybe. I think it starts all with maybe my grandma, because she was a kind of as I say, like was not a fashion designer. She was like a lady doing like women tailored clothes or something. And I was like really often in her studio, and she really soon teach me how to tailor things. So it was like, I think the first entering in a graphic field. And after that I was at this kind of like high schools with this, I don't know, I think for sure you have these special high schools where you have like some special features. For example, you have like courses for metal, you have courses for wood, you learn to print, you learn to do like reports, you wove carpets, like you explore a lot of fields. So it differs or leads me to like a wide spectrum of design skills. And at this moment, or at this time, it was even everything before internet, because now I'm at the age of like 40, and when I go to high school I was like 50, I think, something around. And the kind of education we had there was like super craft based, so everything was without any super nice technology. So this kind of like period of really craft based experiences leads me to this, that I'm have a kind of a little bit of a lack of not doing kind of systems, or not something what is based on mathematics, or like some what I mean, it was too arty in a way. And then I tried to, or like had this like idea, okay, let's study industrial design. Then I went to a university and doing this, but this was maybe a way too the process takes too long, and then I'm really like an impatient person, so I like to do things fast, do it, then it's done, and do the next. So I really like this loop of doing things, and always having not doing the same. So then I stopped this. Then I study graphic design, and besides, as in this period, I was like really addicted into graffiti art. So it was like all the time what I do something on like for my hobby, whatever. I think maybe I cannot say hobby, because I don't have a job. So it was something what was I was like attracted, or like I like this kind of field, I like these hand styles, and I think this maybe leads me even to the connection of graphic design. After this, is maybe too long nowadays, the answer, whatever. And then I went into even advertising. This is also one thing. I thought maybe just the surface, or like doing visual graphic design is maybe too less. I want to learn a little bit more about strategy, about a little bit more about concepts. And then I went to Berlin, worked in a design department of DBWA. And here it was kind of a nice period because we have these big clients. And for me, it was always, like having these independent small projects. Now I had to work for like big brands, and we had this like wide range of like concepts, strategies. There was so many people involved, and I think this for later I think gives me even a good spectrum what kind of fields there are. And then I founded 2013 Studio S, because then I quit from advertising because it was in a way too commercial, and now I'm really just working for non-commercial projects all the time. Long story, but yeah. Here I am.
Well, what is design for you? Is a kind of process that you always repeat every time? As you said that you like to do every time something, finish and start again?
For at least like graphic design, or like even for me it's like communication, because this is the thing what we do all the time to communicate, to reflect, or to differ, or even to react on something. I think it's like kind of a medium where you can easily, because the techniques are kind of easy to do, you can quick reflect on something, or even I see myself maybe also like more as a maybe sometimes I see me as a cleaner, because people, they always pass you like a lot of stuff, and then you have to even filter, you have to condense, you have to reduce and find like a way that all these stories, because in the beginning we had super long conversations with the clients or with artists or whatever, and we find that all these stories they give you, we condense in a kind of a concept. If it's like a visual idea, or is even can be just a claim, because even the name of the studio is even just a text. It's like not all the time it should be something what is like super graphic design based or visual.
And with your works, what do you try to create as a designer behind the surface?
Also, like, you mean like more like the output, or like in if we do, you mean like the spectrum, or?
Yeah, the spectrum. If you want sometimes to communicate something behind your works, because of course aesthetically there is one layer, but then there is the layer behind.
Yeah, so I think the beginning, as I like maybe answer right, because it can be answered in a lot of ways, that we are beginning, or we begin all the time with kind of an identity somehow, but an identity reflected in like a lot of different channels. You know what I mean? It's like I like to begin with something what is not there. So, for example, if someone passed me stuff, like another agency or another designer did something already, then I'm like a little bit more bored, because I really try to begin something really new and then load it up. And this kind of like upload, like putting the stuff in a project can be in a lot of different ways. Can be a book, can be a poster, can be a website. Yeah.
And is there a reason why you moved from commercial clients to non-commercial clients? Is because the communication is different?
I think this has a reason, because I really like when I have maybe I'm also like even attracted in persons, or even in personalities, because when I have like a vis-a-vis, what I don't know, having an idea, and I'm really stuck, because I think, this is great, we can do something what is amazing out of this, then maybe more triggered. And I think in a commercial way, you have to take, or even, I don't know, if you have Apple and Apple has an idea or something, and you think, okay, it's not maybe the greatest idea, or maybe Apple not, but in case you have a client you think is a stupid idea, I think you have to work because it's your job. It's like a commercial work. And I think if I work in this more cultural based industry, then maybe I can filter a little bit more, and I'm more flexible. Or I'm not sure if this is a good answer to your question, but I think in this field we are working now, I have much smarter clients than before. Maybe this is this is a good answer.
When you approach a new project, is there a part of the process that you're more interested in, or is all the process?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really like the beginning, because this is okay. I had this conversation, and then it's like a really big conceptual part, because you have to filter what is the best strategy and in what channel is the best thing. So this is I think the part I maybe like most, because yeah, then is maybe the most tricky part in the beginning maybe is solved, because then okay, this will gonna be our solution, and then we keep an eye of okay, how we can I don't know, pack this solution into a really nice graphical way. But sometimes even we begin with the graphic part, and then later on we think, okay, out of this we can do a concept. At the end should be a good concept and a good design. It's like half.
Do you think perfection exists in design?
Now, so it exists. I think outside I see a lot of like perfectly done and super nice executed design, but I think for me it's not the aim. Maybe I'm too much punk that I like this perfection, because even I think, I don't know, like even a person or like a character is for me more interesting when there are kind of these mistakes, because if it's too perfect, it's not so nice. And even the combination of as for me, perfection is more like a good mix of all the ingredients packed well, because you need everything. Like you need like nice typography, you need a nice strategy, visual concept, a nice color. So there's a lot of stuff in, and I think if the mix is right, then for me it's perfectly done. When it's too, I don't know, too gloss or something, then maybe I find it more boring. But yeah, in words.
And what do you think regarding the contemporary design scene? What's around you? Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, I think when I have to like even judge myself or the work from the studio, and someone said, "Oh, this is super outdated. Wow, they are not contemporary anymore." So if I like reflect, then I think I'm also like a bit, oh shit, I may be too old. I cannot see what is fresh or something. Then I think it's also not good. I think it's good that it exists, and I think we even try to be have a reduced contemporary approach in a way. But when I, for example, work for, I don't know, like has to be like a visual system for like a bigger identity, I think then should be timeless, this for sure, because it depends on the medium. If there is a magazine, what is let's see, it's like I don't know, every month there's like a new issue, and I think for sure you have to reflect on the zeitgeist more than in other print matters. Or what do you think? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your point of view. But do you think internet had a huge impact on design. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so you even talking about like the but the big amount of stuff what surrounds us now. You ask me about this. Yeah, so for sure. I mean, I grew up without not having all this like footage because I think we are more like searching for something what was, you know, like sources more in the past, I think, and then we take something and then like redo it or do it in a new way. I think this is maybe the better solution, because I think to just see what is now now every day in your feed, I think maybe is a little bit senseless, and even this bubble creates like a super big mainstream at the end. And I think as a designer, you're always searching for a little bit of a subculture, because this is maybe more interesting. And even I talked with a kid of a friend last week, and he said that, for example, he really is looking for something, or like for some persons, they don't have 1,000 followers. So I think these people searching for a subculture somewhere, I think exists. I think we are not of we don't like the mainstream, and that's why I'm not thinking that it's so good to reflect so much and care so much about the internet footage.
And
Yeah.
regarding the design education, what do you think about that? I mean, also because you studied in a previous generation, and today things are really changed. Also, for example, there are so many design school comparing with the past. So, do you have an opinion about the actual situation?
Also, I can say, for example, what I figure out the couple of years, we always have interns in the studio, one or two, and now I think I have a good overview on, I think, kind of like Europe, what a university bringing what kind of, let's say, talents out. And what I'm sometimes missing a little bit is I think sometimes they really love to do like printed matters. So they love to do like books, everything what is like crafted. They are really fans. But when I, for example, have like projects, they lead maybe to like something what is going online, or what is more like an interactive, like all this stuff. They don't like so much, and I don't know why. Maybe we at our age or something, we are more, I don't know, curious about, okay, let's do an idea and bring it into online. Maybe they are more focused, or maybe it's really the opposite, because we really started a little bit late with the computer, and they started early. So maybe it's like they like to do print. I mean, I also like to do print, but I think we have to be open. It's like evolution. We read papers online, so I think there's a need maybe to have more education, that they're more fascinated in this medium of online. Yeah, this is missing a little bit.
And do you think the role of the designer is going in this kind of direction, like in digital stuff instead of like more printed?
I think yes. I think yes. I think for sure, like there some printed stuff, or even for sure books will exist. But I think beside this, we have to think about, okay, how can we reach this, even some target groups? So how can we reach the people and tell them maybe the story of the book better? Like even besides this medium. Because otherwise it's only not that say that is like only a book, but I think evolution of the technology is bringing for us even nice aspects that we can, I don't know, maybe like an AI will read the book later on. So I think there is something going on, and I think if we know that this technology exists, or like, because I don't know what will happen in 5 years, but if there is something what can give us inspiration for projects or bringing these projects into another aspect, then I think is quite good. Also, I'm not afraid of this. I think it's evolution.
Do you think like the role of the designer would be more independent in some way and less like in a studio?
Yeah, so I think it happens nowadays, because I think as I was like younger, it was like super trendy, or not trendy. It was like it, like you study, and then for sure she or he will go to like a bigger studio because there she can learn more or something. But I think the people, they are now passing the universities, they are directly open a studio, or directly be like they are self-employed and working for their own clients. So I think there are a lot of like independent designers, yeah, like small communities. Maybe they cooperate with each other, but I think the system of these big systems, I think, is like super old.
And today we are facing this moment with this virus, and there's so many things going on, especially from designers. But do you think as designers we can do something for this global pandemic to help? I mean,
Yeah. So when I like now like answer, yeah, okay, let's, I don't know, help these this scene of theaters or whatever. Let's do something for free. I think it's not a good answer, because it's, I don't know. Then I even do like a subs. Like it's not helping the industry. I think what we can do is what we always do. We do something out of nothing, and we are having kind of like ideas that maybe is ideas that helping maybe this I don't know, film studio or whatever, to do better. And maybe this is a solution what can help, because if we have an idea, it creates like even jobs, and even we have maybe the project, and the project needs even like people. So I think this can be something what I think I can offer, because just to do graphic design, I think will not help. Maybe help.
well, that was
And
the last question,
yeah.
Verena. So thank you very much for your time, your participation to the project.